Thank you for joining us on the sweet language of life. This is episode 3. For me, the answer to this question, I mean, over the
Mm,
month that I've been trying to explore this question, is that
wow.
over so many years, right? I would say for
Mm,
10,000 years, we've only thought about
mm,
ourselves to some extent. Whenever
yes.
there is a situation, we say our parents, our clothes, our chair, everything is about us in the end,
Mm, mm,
right? And until and unless we are able to, right, when you say treat everything equally, right, I'm saying until and unless we are able to somehow change our conditioning, whatever conditioning we've come up with till
yes.
this point,
Yes. Yes.
our
Yes.
conditioning to say, from the next time I respond to something, whether it
Mm,
is now, whether me talking to you is something, right,
mm,
me
mm,
talking to you,
mm,
I'm going to try and be less self-centered as possible, right,
mm,
not condition myself. I'm going to
mm,
rewind the conditioning that has been done,
mhm.
right.
Is that entirely possible?
I don't know, and for me that's the best place to be, but I'm
Absolutely.
trying to do that.
Good.
I'm trying to
Good to
reduce
hear, actually.
the self in that,
You
because
you get to see a lot more possibilities and perspectives that way. Right? You become a
right,
lot more aware that way. You get to you get to see a lot that way. I think when you really try to reduce the self, but I don't think you can entirely eliminate thinking about yourself, because if somebody is drowning you or something, your immediate response would be to survive. You would fight that. How much ever you decide to commit a
but
suicide, I think
but
for the
that's
last minute also
that
you would
that
want to survive.
that's a bodily response, right? If someone's drowning me,
Isn't that you?
that is me. I'm not discounting that. I'm saying that is
Mm.
me, but most of
Mm.
the times we are
You're
in some
talking
suffering or pain, we are talking from
mm,
the perspective of our thought, right?
from the thought,
Thought, right?
the
So
physiological aspect of it.
right, if someone's drowning me, I'm not
Yeah.
thinking I should escape. My body is functioning right from the moment someone puts my head inside the water, right?
Absolutely.
That's my body
Absolutely.
reacting. That's not me thinking of reacting.
So
That's
that
the
has
reaction is
nothing
happening.
to do with your mind,
Right, right.
not your fear of death. No, I'm asking you, has that got nothing to do with your mind? I
at,
mean,
at
I'm
that
not saying
point
that
of time,
your mind, if I'm not saying that it is not dependent. I'm not saying that your mind or your body depends on your mind for that action. But I'm asking you, won't your mind also panic about the fact that you're drowning? You may
it
not
will,
think, you
it
may
will,
not think at that point, but
it
yes,
will. But
you will try different ways to escape.
think of a situation. I have a badminton racket in my hand, right? I'm
Mhm,
hitting a
mhm,
shuttlecock, and I don't, by some hook or crook, Malvika comes in front of me, right? And she doesn't see that badminton racket, right?
mhm, mhm,
It it's about to hit you, and your body just
mhm.
goes back. Your mind is not thinking at that point. It's your body
No,
reacting, right?
your body reacts. Yes,
When that event is done, that is when
your
your
mind
mind
reacts.
thinks, right?
It tells you, okay, I'm safe.
Right.
Yes,
And when that
there are two
response,
independent factors going on, I think.
right, and the initial bodily reaction, it's not condition, it's innately animalistic how it is. Every animal
Yes,
in the world has that reaction. If you don't have that reaction, you are a plant, right? Unless
yes,
you're a touch me not plant, right?
yes,
Right, right. Now,
yes,
that is one aspect. The other aspect is your
mm,
thought, right? Your thought. And
yes,
let me gather my thoughts, right? Again,
yes, yes,
gather my
absolutely.
thoughts,
I understand. I understand
right?
the trouble with that. Yes,
So, right, when I'm thinking, right, and I don't know how to explain it,
right.
right?
You get words eventually, or you can
Right.
take your time. I mean, seriously, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to take my time because I want to give the right answer, right? I'm going to think.
Go for it.
Exactly. So that gave me the answer that I was wanted to say, right?
Ah,
So what I was saying was that our body reactions we don't have any control over, if at that point of time, at that point of time when we have to
Mm-hmm.
react, right? But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
our conditioning has made us react through our
Yes, our conditioning itself comes from
thought.
entirely,
Right. No, it does, I would say. So
entirely from thought.
if someone says, you're from a higher caste, right, or
Mm,
from a lower
mm,
caste, right,
mm,
you're from this
mm,
class, you're from that class,
mm,
right?
mm,
If someone who is from a lower strata of the society who comes and says, hey bloody fool, who do you think you are, right? The conditioned
uh-huh, uh-huh.
response that's going to come is, hey buffoon, I am not
Yes,
from this class, the
yes,
blah 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 blah
yes,
blah, and you
yes,
blurt it out before even thinking how
yes.
you should respond, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
my concept, or whatever I've been able to gather over this month, is before we make this response that our conditioning has forced us to do, it's a response that is happening because we've done it so many times, right?
yes.
It's a conditioned response. If we just
Mm-hmm.
wait, think about how to respond, right? If someone's beating the
So
crap
the
out of you,
first,
that's
I
different.
think, I think the first thing would be your reaction. If you reacted that way, that's how it would happen. But if you wait and you think, maybe what comes after would be your response.
Right. And when we are thinking at this point, I
Mm,
think the
mm,
best way to live our life, and for me that is the purpose of my life.
oh,
I think
nice.
I think it should work for everyone else. I
Mm,
don't know if it will, right? I'm thinking
mm,
at that point of time when I'm thinking,
mm,
we should be very aware that it is not about ourselves, right? Like for example, if someone is shouting at me, right,
mm.
my immediately my ego says, hey, you can't get hurt, who the hell
Yes.
are you to get hurt, and
Mm, mm,
just shout at them, right? And when that thought process, when you're thinking at that point of time,
mm,
I think when you say you don't want to think from a self or a self-centered perspective, right,
mm,
that's when you're like,
mm,
hey, it doesn't matter, it doesn't hurt me, right? And
mm,
if someone is
mm.
saying something, hey, it's fine, I mean, I can't help
You
it.
know, I kind of agree with you on that, because for one, it is that okay. I kind of forgot my first point, but then because it actually came when you were talking. But then, in a way, whoever's angry at you is either angry about some action that you did, or some thought of yours, or something related to you. So when they are actually shouting at you, one good way to see it is actually, understanding the fact that they are actually angry at your mind or your thinking or your action, not you. We identify ourselves so much, that we think that our thinking is us. It is who we are. That is what we think. There is actually an entity which has already separate things. Our mind is us, but our mind is not us, right? You are not your mind. You have a mind. That is how it works. So whenever somebody is actually angry at you, or whenever somebody reacts, or anything of that sort, actually, if we actually start to think that this is not directing at us, it is directing at something that we are thinking or our thoughts. It is a good way to go about it, and choose an ideal way of responding, I think
Right.
so. Yeah.
I mean, if I was to assess in the past, every time I have gotten angry with someone, um,
Mm,
right, and at that point of time, why do we even get angry? The reason is there is some sort of reciprocation we are looking for, which is not coming in the way we are asking for it to come,
expecting. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
at that point of time, when you see that you're asking for some reciprocation, it should immediately tell you,
Mm,
hey, dude, you are being self-centered, right?
mm, mm,
And as soon as you stop having some expectation of some sort of reciprocation, you automatically
mm,
remove the self,
mm.
because you're saying you are not important It sounds very bad, right? You are not important, right? It's not bad at all.
It's not. It's not.
It's not bad at all. You
I think there are, different situations where you can think in different kinds of ways. Because not everywhere, for one, can you think like that. But if you, like I said, if you choose your options wisely, you can make a very ideal solution out of every problem that you face that way. Because I personally, I don't know, I've not really thought about it, but I'm not really sure if you can always remove yourself, the self from because you are a living being. You have to think of yourself at times. I don't think it's possible all the time, but yes, definitely, that will take you a great way, a long way, in fact, in
I believe
responding every
I believe over and above any
day.
physiological need,
Mm.
we can negate the self.
Yes,
And
any
if
physiological need.
right, over and above any
Yes.
physiological need, I can negate the self, and that is my
Mm.
purpose of my life. That, you
Good.
know, remove
Fine.
the self, right? Anyways, so I don't know if you have any questions, we can take them. Otherwise, we can close.
I think this entire thing has been question and answers, so
Right,
I'm good there.
right, right.
But
Perfect.
yes, it has been very interesting, because, like I said, this is the first time that I've been openly discussing about my thoughts or my take on something with somebody. So I think it has, even I got a lot of food for thought. It
Right,
has been very insightful, in fact. So I like that about this.
right. And I appreciate you tagging along on this journey of mine. And again, when I say
Thank
mine,
you for having me.
I, I'm trying to say that, I am a insignificant person in this world, um, and I whatever my efforts are going towards helping other people if they need that help, not shoving it down their throats. Anyways,
In a way, your presence would be significant.
right. Uh, I'm
Not
not
the way
looking
you
for any
see it, but the way
reciprocation.
others see it.
Not looking for any reciprocation. If it works out, right?
Yes, you set your intention, leave the rest. That's it.
Right. So before we end the call, I would like to thank everyone who's joined, who's still there on the call, and
Still there.
who's still found some value in it. Thank you for joining us on this journey. I won't even ask you to like, subscribe, or do anything, because again, it comes back to reciprocation. The
Yes.
only reciprocation I can ask is if you really felt this is valuable, I won't even ask you to join. I would say if it pops up in your head, that thought, feel free to join.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Feel free. We are always open.
Right. So thank you, Malvika, for joining. Thanks everyone who's
Thank
on
you,
the call
Ishan,
for
for having
joining.
me. Thank
And
you.
we shall close the call now. Yep. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Sweet Language of Life.